Yeah, I took a break. What were we doing? I went to go get food and then I took a shower and I forgot what we were doing. No. This one, right? Papa, Razi, and Cooper. God damn it. And they're not in here? Oh, they're here. Oh, the buff out. It finally caught up to me. Oh, good lord. Good lord, can we... Can we go to normal? Thank you. Hmm. Shit. I don't know if that's special or not. Fuck it. Not using that. At least not right now, and I can get them pretty easily. That's right, they gave me this shit. I don't need it, so... Guess drink a couple of them. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, no. Hello? Ah, paparazzi.
Hey, what's up, new guy? Ignore the shakes. I'm doing a story about chem addiction, so, you know.
So, So you've taken some chems? You got yourself addicted? You don't look like a journalist.
I'm not a journalist. At least, not like Oliver and Cooper are. I'm something else, a different breed. I don't just write the stories, I live them. I go where no one else is willing to go and do things that make any sane person pause. And I do it all for the truth, baby.
Your eyes are fucking really sparkly. Holy shit. Sounds like an excuse to get high and party.
Not gonna lie, that's a benefit of the job. But it also takes a lot of discipline to get a working story out of it.
Yeah, sure. Your thoughts on other journalists?
Oliver and Cooper mean well, but they just don't get it. They think they can get the full story by standing far away and being objective. But you can't report from a distance, can't write things you haven't lived, and yet they call me a bad journalist.
Have any opinions on Bob Frost?
Well, besides Mr. Breach, he's the only other person here I respect. Yeah, he doesn't get as crazy as me, but he'll get down and dirty when the story calls for it. Plus, the guy's a party animal. Best drinking buddy I've ever had.
Mr. Breach said I could help you.
Yeah, I was actually about to come get you. Portland runs on salt, that's a fact. And all salt comes from Salt Town. Creative name, right? The guy in charge is a man named the Foreman. He's a recluse. He never leaves his office. Which means it's almost impossible to get a read on him. But you're about to change that.
And how will I do that?
Check this out. It's a bug. Picked it up from P-Town before the ghost showed up. You get this near the Foreman, and we'll know everything he does in there.
What the fuck is P-Town? And why can't you do that?
I've got a bit of a reputation, and the Foreman ain't exactly on good terms with us. They won't let me anywhere near the place. But you're new. You'll be able to sneak this bad boy in right under their noses.
Isn't this illegal?
Is it strictly speaking legal? No. Is that gonna stop me? No. Is that gonna stop you? Well, I hope not.
Alright, hand me the bug.
All right. Just planting it in the building will be good enough. But if you can get it into his office, you'd be a legend here.
Okay. Whole ass fucking car in here. Empty jet everywhere. Get out of my way, please. God. Yo, man, you got any fucking detergent in here? No first aid box in there. Okay. Well, if it's not gonna say I'm a bad boy for doing it. 4. No. Turn. Well, 2. No. Well, actually, yes. Didn't. Okay. So I guess it's the A. It's the A. That's correct. Got removed. Removed. There we go. Done. There you go. Crusader's story published. Of God and Glory, Alatar Crowley, Breach Outreach senior reporter. While other major powers may have been breathing down the Frontier's neck for some time now, a relatively new player has entered the fray. The Crusaders are a force that as far as fucking Christ. Iconography, there we go, goes is quite clearly related to the Brotherhood, but in what capacity? Well, the answers are readily available to those who seek them. Crusader Warden Howell stands vigil at the force field that gates off Robco Tower, their base of operations in the Frontier. When approached by our reporters, he seemed to speak with measured caution. When we began to ask of the group's history, however, he seemed elated at a fellow seeker of knowledge expressing interest. While the conversation we had could very well fill an entire history book of its own, the key points are that a paladin known as Tasha Weaver survived the Battle of Helios 1 in Nevada and made her way to New Canaan. Recovering from her injuries and finding a new lease on life, she and the other like-minded individuals broke by their time. And well, we know all this. Yeah, we know. I guess this is a way to figure out the other sides of the story if you're doing one, not the others, of course. So let's see the Legion story. Blizzard of the Bull. Legion is a curious case. Any NCR soldier will tell you that their savage brutality, a ravenous horde bearing down on the gates of hell. And yet, when you look to the Legion, what do you see? I, for one, see familiar faces. I see old friends, old enemies, old drinking buddies. I see scavs that are tired of wondering if the next NCR patrol they see is going to gun them down in the streets. In the streets they've walked since they were children. I see the Snowblind. To those who don't remember, the Snowblind were a tribe that lived to the far north, quite close to Ostia, in fact. A group of professional marksmen who used blizzards to cover to their advantage in raids. The bane of many caravans and frequent auctioneers at the junk flea slave market, but around the time the Sandlot fell, they became more paranoid, reclusive, and when a few slave traders still passing through to junk flea got taken out by a sniper fire from the airport, they shut themselves off entirely. We heard little of the Snowblind for months. I believe that, in error, I had even reported them as wiped out at one point, a statement that is both inaccurate yet true all at the same time. At some point during the NCR's early occupation of the airport, several Fumentari of the Legion came to the Snowblind. Then many months The many months that were spent in seclusion were now spent training in military tactics. The Snowblind's proclivity, marksmanship, and using effective camouflage and stealth only served to their benefit, and now we find ourselves deadlocked in a bitter war that ravages our home. Still, it's hard to argue what happened to the Snowblind. What wasn't a good thing under the leadership of the enigmatic legate Valerius. They've become a much more civilized and helpful bunch. No longer sacking caravans to get by. Even the rather liberal ideals of Valerius have improved the interactions with Scav communities, such as their respectful treatment of slaves. Rumor has it that the legate may even permit women in combat roles in the near future, an unthinkable concept for the Legion of the Homeland. A concept that even had some make the argument that the Legion may be the ideal choice for the frontier. After all, for the most part, they've been here for as long as we have. Yeah, okay, I don't know about that. Not California, right? Fucking his name. If you find an old war map, state lines and all... excuse me. And state lines and all. When you look for Portland, what's the state it's in? Not California, right? Quite interesting, then, that we find ourselves under near hostile occupation by the new California Republic. As much as I'd love to give you a straight answer, they seem less than keen on interacting with the reporters of the Breach Outreach. But of course, why would they want to speak to us? After all, we reported their senseless massacre of Brighttown, we reported their smoldering wrecks of vans shredded by tank fire, the collateral damage from the occasional vertibird bombing run, and an ever-growing tally of Scav lives lost to people who come and occupied the lands we lived in for generations. If I sound bitter, forgive me. It just pains me to see so many senseless deaths over the years. From the fall of the Sandlot, the Brighttown massacre, the night the Branded vanished, and all these wretched mutants that popped up in the last decade, sometimes it feels like this land is cursed, doesn't it? If the NCR is looking for their salvation, they're in the wrong place. Right. Ooh. No, this way, I guess. This room's a fucking mess. Sure. Take these. This. You. I'll take the pre-war money. You keep the rest. Nope. Nope. Sure. Got a lot of pre-war money. Jesus. Had a lot of money, fuck. I'll take all those. The fuck was this guy? Why does he have so much money? Inaccessible. Any detergent in here? No. Fucking bullshit. Alright, hello, Martin. Bit of a musician.
Spent a lot of years wandering, just like my dad. Finally settled down with the outreach.
Okay. Alright, well. Looks like I can't really take anything from him. Oh, you don't mind? Because I like the XP. Game. Alright. Bleeder's story. Let out, okay. Out of many tribes that once occupied the frontier, few have survivors that aren't legion these days. Among them is one exception, the Bleeders, who live on in the memory of one of the tribal elders, last Pathfinder. While some of the tribe joined the Legion, thus losing their tribal identity, the vast majority of the tribe died as an unknown blood-borne pathogen spread throughout their numbers and caused them to die off. Last Pathfinder has also contracted this disease, although it seems to be taking longer for him to pass. The Bleeders were widely known for their ritualistic sharing of blood, a slit across two people's hands as they shake them, or dripping one's own blood into a cut made on another's body. This is now the plague that ended the tribe's spread so intensely, and how it tragically ended their long history. Interviews with the somber man suggest he only wishes his tribe could continue to live, so he would no longer be alone in the world. The appropriately named Last Pathfinder. That's sad. I'm sure we'll meet him at some point. Those snake things story? Old land, cold blood. The wastes have produced all manners of strange beasts. For proof, just take a stroll outside and see the Paralagus? Paralagus? Or the bullthorn? Or the chitlurks that roam our own lands. Better yet, listen to the outlandish tales others spin, like that old ghoul with those Blue Ridge caravan guys that came over the Rockies every couple of years. They'll tell you fairy tales about how he and his pals fought psychic bats back in 2103, or that giant moths are worshipped as gods back home. He even told me about their own Wendigos one time, which, while derived from ghouls, much like our own, are wildly different and much more terrifying if he's to be believed. But even if we have a strange creature he didn't believe in until he met them, the Thorchili? Okay, whatever. The best kept secret of the frontier. The Thorchili is a winged serpentine race of sapient creatures that call the sewers near Junkfleet home, and they are more than happy to trade. What? So they're cool. They're fine. Buying or selling chems, then their sewers is the best place for you to go. While suspicious for us, their queen Juno is quite hospitable, and she had our reporters fed fresh Brahmin and given a tour of their dens, lined with serpent-coiled and sniffing wonder glue. And at their inner sanctum, our observant team was able to discern their origin. On the tapestry hung in the deepest recesses of their abode is a faded image of malformed creature and mass of melted flesh soaking into a terminal. Ah, okay, the master. As anyone who's an avid reader might know, this accurately matches the sketches of the master, as shown in both the Vault Dweller's memoirs as well as some published works by the NCR Super Mutant citizens. This, of course, is not surprising in the least. The members of the Unity who found their way into the human society often spoke of the Master's savant-like proclivities to the biological sciences, having engineered advanced species of the Floater and Deathclaw, even seen elsewhere in the wastes, and even made a generation of fully intelligent super mutants which have not been reported elsewhere outside of a few isolated reports from Appalachia and the capital.